I would like to now call my next guest speaker, who has joined us, and his name is Dr. Umar Shahbaz Khan. We obviously have discussed throughout this conversation that how industry academia linkages are important and what can we do to bring in the change. And a lot of times, even I wonder while sitting in the audience that how can we sort of mobilize those current resources we have to fill that gap. To fill that gap between academia and industry, and how it can sort of contribute positively within our economy. So today we have someone who's a key personnel of our country who will address these questions for us. He has an experience of both the fields, industry and academia. Dr. Umar Shahbaz is an associate professor of Department of Mechatronics Engineering, College of Electrical and Mechanical Engineering, E&ME, NUST. He is also leading the National Center of Robotics and Automation, NCRA, as project director. Please welcome Dr. Umar with a huge round of applause.
Thank you, Sumbal, Zunera, Shahid, for having me here. So like the introduction said, I am from the Department of Mechatronics Engineering. I don't know if you guys even heard of this name or not. Yes, mechanical. So I'm gonna, so before I go to the industry academia linkage and the main topic, I'm just gonna take you about a bit over 20 years back when I started my undergrad in mechatronics engineering, and at that time nobody knew about it. And there's a hidden message over here, because when I started that qualification, even I didn't know what it was, but I just said, okay, something is robotics, okay, sounds appealing, let's just do it. My own father was like, oh yeah, ye kya kar rahe ho? Yeah, telecom admission lo. Telecom was on the boom, by the way, at that time. It was on the rising edge. And I was like, no, I'm gonna do this and let's see how it goes. So I took admission in mechatronics engineering, graduate ho gaya, kuch arsa maine Siemens mein job ki, then I went for my PhD. So after a decade of my undergrad, when I came back, at least people then knew what mechatronics was. So that was something कि चलें यार अब लोगों को पता है. So back in 2012, I'm not going to name a company, but being in us, so most of the companies, they come and they take tests, and our students, they go and join them. So there was a very good company, and they were taking this test of students of mechanical engineering, and I was the head of placement bureau at the time, so I went to them and I said, why don't you, test some mechatronics students as well? And they was like, no, we don't need mechatronics. We need mechanical and electrical because they are the core fields and all that. I said, at least let them appear in the interview. So some of our students, they appeared in the test, in the interview, and they took 1 or 2 out of them just as a test case. And a couple of years back, I met an alumni of ours, and I asked him that, okay, where are you? And he said, I'm in XYZ company. And it's like, okay, so what's the ratio over there? And it's like, so last time when they came here, they took more mechatronics engineers than mechanical engineers. So the hidden message is we need to open up to technology. We need to open up to innovation. We need to open up because we need to compete with the world. ठीक है, और अगर हम नहीं open up होते तो then that's a problem for us, हम पीछे रह जाएंगे. AI is a very emerging field. आजकल पाकिस्तान में हर जगह AI का नाम चल रहा है because it's everywhere. And the advanced countries, they've already gone on to artificial intelligence. ठीक है, और I was attending a conference in NDU, and over there, a very remarkable statement was said. It's like the future is of AI. All those countries who have adopted AI will be the leaders. And all those countries which are left behind will be used as source of data mining for AI of the advanced countries. So this is the important message. With technology, we need to grow. So how did this mechatronics become famous over the years? Well, it didn't just happen just like that. Obviously, if you want to put in a technology, you first start with the education of it, and that's where we came in. So we were the pioneers, the first few batches who became engineers, who went into industry, who tried to impress people. Oh, please take us, we have some capability. And then, the industry, they adapted with it, right? And that's how things changed. But then again, what about the STEM part? Well, what about the kids? Do they even know about robotics? So another experience that I'd like to share, and a big achievement on behalf of my department, back in 2004, we started a small robotic competition. At that time, it was for university kids. So we put a few projects, part of them together, and we built a small robot. That robot would do a certain task. And thanks to my mentors and my teachers at that time, they said, oh, let's do it every year. So it became part of the curriculum, and we started doing it every year. And since 2004, we have been doing it every year. except the last 2 years due to COVID. So that's the first time when we had a break. And we call it NERC, which is the National Engineering Robotics Contest. It is one of the biggest robotics competition of Pakistan with over 1,000 participants from university, of course, and from school and colleges as well. So 6th class onwards, we've got kids coming in there, making their small robots with their Lego kits and running around and doing things. And you can see the enthusiasm in those faces, in those kids. So our schools are adapting, right? But not all of them, right? I don't know if you are from different schools. Have you ever even heard of what NERC was? If not, please go to nerc.com.pk, right? Not you, you're my student. You know about it, you've participated. So go and tell your students about this thing. It happens in the summer, in June, July, and we've got people coming in from Roots, Head Start, even some Army public schools. But one more thing that we as a department did. We would go to Balochistan, find some Army public school over there, and we'll tell their principal, please bring them here. We'll teach them how to run a robot. We'll give them a kit. It's a small kit you can learn in a few days, and let them participate. We went to Hunza one year, and we brought kids from there. Okay? We've brought kids from Interior Sindh. We brought kids from Cadet College Jhelum, Cadet College Hassan Abdal, and obviously just one time, so we try to support them. But it's just to encourage them to, this is something which is out there. And, most of these schools, then they started making their own robotic clubs. They would buy a kit, and they would make their club, and they would build robots, and they would come every year. So that's how this technology is growing. So currently, I'm the director of the National Center of Robotics and Automation. It's a government-funded project. So we have labs established in 13 universities across Pakistan. It's about 1.3 billion rupees project. I'm leading it. So now what we are doing, we're developing certain skill set. We've enabled these labs with state-of-the-art equipment. We've enabled them HR for a period of 3 years. And what we want is that these labs, these universities, they should produce entrepreneurs. They should try to become self-sustainable, make products, make Pakistan a technology nation. I mean, in the 1970s, when the Chinese used to come to Pakistan and they would wonder and say, I wonder if China would ever be as advanced as Pakistan. This is, our history where we used to be in before the 70s. And now look where we are and where China is. So we need to become a technology nation, an innovation nation, right? Now the industry, they don't trust that much on academia, and maybe they're right, because obviously the pace of academia is very different than industry. Student, जिधर भी वो student mentality ही रखता है, वो बस project करता है GPA लेने के लिए. He's not doing it for, he just wants the marks, he just wants the grades, he's not interested whether it would work or not work, right? So there has to be some middle platform, and that is where these research labs and research centers come in. Why? Because we have hired dedicated people who are working on a certain area. They've developed a skill set now, and the industry should be able to trust them. So there are different models that are working for us now, right? First model is, okay, start selling your own products. So we've established some private limited companies. Each lab has a commercial front. You have a few products. You've hired some business development managers. You tell them, okay, take this product, take it to the market, sell it, see if it sells. We can earn some money out of it, right? Another model is, we've gone to industries. Obviously, we have an NDA signed, so I can't name them, but we are doing a few projects with the industry. In some of them, the industry is going to sponsor the whole project. We are going to make it for them. They'll be marketing it. And then you have different models. Either they can sponsor it initially, or you can share funds out of it. So this is where we are seeing ourselves in 5 to 10 years, because if right now you go to Google and you search top robotic companies in Pakistan, you'll get a list. Just go through that list. I think all of them are software companies. So they'll call it robotics because it has some sort of AI, image processing, stuff like that in it. There's no hardware-based robotic company. We've started some, but obviously it's going to take time for them to become that successful, right? So if we want to actually take our country to the next level, it is very important that we support indigenization. Indigenization is when you want to, make your own products, substitute the imports. Instead, concentrate on exporting, earn some money for the country. Our future, our survival depends on it. So that's how important this field is, and that's how important technology is, and that's how important that at school level, we bring it in our kids so that they could open up to technology. You know, they have this critical thinking ability. That's what something we need to put into them. So I'm just going to share one small story at the end of this. Just this summer, one of my kids, first-year student, he came in and he was, looking around the center, looking at the different projects. So I said to him, okay, what are you doing? He said, "Sir, I'm just looking around and all that." I was like, "You should have come in summer if you were here. We would have given you internship." And he was like, "Sir, I couldn't manage time because I'm managing 3 stores on Amazon." He's the first-year university student, right? I don't even know what that is, frankly speaking. So I was like, "Okay, so just curious, how much are you earning from it?" And he was like, "Well, it depends, sometimes high and low, but per month I earn about 150,000 rupees. Now for a first year undergrad student, and first year means FSC के बाद आया है ना? He's coming just right after FSC, 18 साल का बच्चा है, right? I was like, when I started, when I did my PhD and I came back, I was earning much less than you. ठीक है, उस वक्त, obviously, उस वक्त की बात है, थोड़ी सी पुरानी बात हो गई है. So, point being, that kid, he's learning, वो एक engineering की degree भी ले रहा है, साथ में वो earning भी कर रहा है, और ये क्या चीज़ ऐसी थी जिसने उसको इस बात पे enable किया? Obviously, out of nowhere एक epiphany उसके ऊपर नहीं आई. He learned those things, just like, what Badr was saying. We need to open ourselves up to technology. We need to open ourselves up to new things. और opportunities, possibilities automatically बन जाती हैं, आ जाती हैं. So that's what I'd like you guys to take from this. And if you have any questions, you can just shoot. Thank you very much.